Hi, good afternoon. So here we go. Trump bombs Iran. Starmer dithers as per usual. Brize Norton is attacked by a load of lunatics on motorised scooters. You couldn't make this up. And the illegals are still surging in at Dover. Welcome to the John Gaunt Show. What a mess we're in. Trump bombing Iran. What do you make of that? What do you make of Keir Starmer? I've got him in bed. Whilst he was in bed, Trump was trying to sort out the world. What an absolutely useless leader we've got. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let's get talking. This is the John Gaunt Show. So, the big development overnight was that Donald Trump launched powerful, massive airstrikes onto Iran's nuclear facilities. Some people say that this will escalate the Middle East crisis. I think it'll end it, to be honest with you. He's not going to be messed with, which is what I predicted ages ago. Meanwhile, here in the United Kingdom, or should it be the disunited kingdom, the Labour leader Keir Starmer is beginning to get some criticism for dithering as the tensions spiral. Have you heard him? Oh, even now he's saying we want to reduce the tension, do this, do that. Shut up, Keir. Donald Trump wasn't even bothered what you thought. David Lammy went to Washington and came back and said, oh, everything's okay. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. Excuse me. Starmer himself said, I don't think the president is minded to bomb Iran. They went to bed, and of course, that's exactly what Donald Trump did. And then, of course, at home, we've got this ridiculous group, Palestinian Action, who have targeted RAF Brize Norton, one of our key military bases just down the road from where I dog sit. And they basically have caused, they reckon, £30 million worth of damage. All the lefties have crept out of the woodwork today or from under their stones and are saying it's legitimate protest. What? Legitimate protest breaking onto an RAF airfield, damaging planes? Perhaps also illustrating to our enemies how easy it is. Don't get me wrong. The RAF heads have got a role there. How have they got a situation where you can literally just climb over a broken old fence and get into Brize Norton? And not only that, you could say, well, it's a big airfield, blah, blah, blah. Okay, where's the security around the actual planes? It's a complete and utter load of cobblers. And it's just scary as hell. Meanwhile, 1,000 migrants, well, they're not jumping over fences because there's no fences. There's no security on our border at Dover. They're just coming in. Another 1,000 yesterday, well, over the 2 days. I don't know how many there'll be today. The weather's beautiful, so I guess there'll be plenty more. We've got a border crisis. We should be having a state of emergency. Starmer shouldn't be sleeping. He should be manning the border. The guy is an absolute idiot. So in this video, I'm going to break down the Iran conflict a little bit. Starmer's response, of course. Excuse me. My cold's still here, but it's gone a lot. UK foreign policy. Have we got one? What are we going to do about the migrants? And we're going to talk about the rising domestic security threats. This bunch of soap dodgers, what are they called again? Palestinian Action. These are the people who have been marching on the streets of London for the last few years. Amongst them, people with Hamas flags. This I'm putting on Starmer. I put on the previous government as well. Why haven't we clamped down on these morons before? So now we're going to make them a prescribed organisation, like a terrorist organisation, but that's just going to turn them into martyrs. Already all the lefty celebs and lovers are coming out saying it's wrong. And also, Starmer seems to be concentrating more on that bozo out of the rap group from Ireland, and he wants to get him done as a terrorist. Come on, it's just a freedom of expression. Now, ignore him. he'll disappear. But he's saying, oh no, he mustn't play at Glastonbury. The BBC must bar him. I just think all of this is ludicrous. And of course, Starmer's always bragging. Let me read it to you. I put this up earlier and you were reacting to it on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But this idea that his first duty is to protect the British public, well, he's not making a very good job of it, isn't he? This is one of his little adverts that he puts up. You know the ones I'm talking about. He says, the first duty of government is to keep the British people safe and secure at home. Well, that's a big fat to you, Starmer. You failed on that miserably. And then people were saying this morning, where's the Prime Minister's statement? Who cares about Keir Starmer? Donald Trump clearly doesn't. Whilst that uber liberal dithers, Donald Trump got on with the business. And also, as I keep saying on Twitter and stuff, Starmer and his mob of sixth form idiots, they can't even secure our home borders. So how on earth will they sort out Iran? So we're talking Iran strikes, Starmer's response, which is pitiful in my opinion. We'll talk about Brize Norton, our main airfield, being attacked in this way. Let's talk about the thousands of people who are still coming over at Dover. I need your opinion on these things. I think we're the laughing stock of the world. Do you agree or disagree? Press the like button. The more likes we get, the more the algorithm loves us and the more viewers we get in the future. Good to see so many of you watching this extra one I'm doing today. Basically, suddenly felt better. I feel a lot better. You can still hear it in my throat. But I tell you, you don't want to get that virus. I've also had a brilliant email from Niven Casey, who's one of my regular listeners. He's also donated an awful lot of coffees and beers over the period. So thank you for that, Niven. But let me just find your email. It's about the break-in. Let me read this and then we'll come to your comments. Keep putting your comments up. I'm coming to you. And I'm saying that Donald Trump is a leader. People are now saying he should get the Nobel Peace Prize. I think certainly if he brings peace in that area of the world, he deserves it. He'll deserve it in Ukraine as well. No messing. Get in there, sort it out. And now the Iranians are in a tailspin. And what they don't need is lily-livered liberal tossers like Starmer again. Oh, I've got to speak to Macron about this. I better find out what's happening. You've been pushed out, Keir Starmer, because do you know what? I reckon that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are thinking, we can't trust Lammy. We can't trust Keir Starmer. Let's not tell him what we're doing. Let's just crack on and do what we want to do. And also, they didn't have to use our bases today. They flew for 16 hours or something before they dropped the bombs. It's an incredible operation. And it looks like no civilians dead. It's a win-win, isn't it? Absolute win-win. Give him the Nobel Peace Prize now. But anyway, Niffen says, hi, John. Questions re the RAF base break-in. Why was there or is there no security at Brize Norton? Is it the same at other RAF bases? Probably. Why is the damage done to those planes being referred to as vandalism by the BBC and others and not sabotage? It's a really good question. If that was a USA base, one, the security would be as tight as a duck's arse, and two, the perpetrators would now be in coffins. Yeah, I found that amazing. I used to stay on an army camp with my cousins, often in the summer, and we were always told you go through the right gates or whatever, and you would be shot. And I actually think they should be able to shoot you. If you've broken over a perimeter fence to get to Brize Norton, it's not like they just went over the fence and put up a banner. They then went on to the actual airfield to get to the planes. They had motorised electric scooters. I'd have shot the bastards. That'd have been the end of it. There's your human rights. It's quite clear you're not allowed to go in there. Why are we letting them? kill a couple of demonstrators, it would never happen again. I mean it, because the liberals are now saying, oh, you can't ban them. You can't make them a terrorist organisation. Why not? Look at the graffiti they put on our monuments. Look when they carry the Hamas flags. Look when they glorify violence. There's pictures today on X of idiots in London now support I'm with Iran. You what? You're with a country that is oppressing women and killing political opponents? Starmer's an idiot, but he's not as bad as them. I find it just incredible. But anyway, back to Niven's letter. You can't be lax at military bases if you're serious about national security. I agree. Back in the mid-80s, several friends and I went to Mildenhall for an air show. Even though it's an RAF base, at the time the US were in control of it. I did that at RAF Morgan Porth. Went down there and saw their planes. We started playing a game of softball, but soon into it, a British MP, military policeman, came over to us and said we should move our game a bit further away from where we were playing. The reason was, although we weren't that close, there was an SR-71 Blackbird in the vicinity and 2 fences between us and it. The military policeman pointed out the 2 mean-looking bastards who were guarding it and told us that if our ball went over the first or the second fences, it would be lost. But he said, if you go over the first fence to try and get it, you'll get arrested. You go over the second fence, the Yanks will shoot you without asking questions. He finished with, you have been warned. The Americans have jurisdiction here and they don't F about. We moved. What we have is another example of the decline of this country as a serious entity. Security, I hope, would be carried out by the RAF, but probably not. It's probably Serco. Yeah, the same idiots who look after the prisons with their minimum wage and can't be asked layabout employees. Niven, that's the only bit I disagree. You can't really blame the lads and lasses who get the jobs, but you're right. Why have we given away security? We're just the laughing stock. And then we've got a leader, even though Trump, the leader of the free world, has now taken the initiative and gone in. Why on earth now is he urging restraint? We're not bombing civilians. We're not bombing towns. But no. And I'll tell you something else about Starmer. All this information coming out. He defended some people who attacked an RAF plane years ago. He thought they had a right to it. He thought that was legitimate protest. The guy is an uber liberal clown and he needs to go. Are you with me or against me? You're listening to the John Gaunt Show. Today we're talking Iran. We're talking Trump. We're talking Starmer. UK politics, of course. Brize Norton. And what do you make of the fact that the migrants? They're still coming. Starmer has still not got on top of it. I'm ranting. I'm going to lose my voice again. So, Trump puts the airstrikes on Iran, targeting directly the nuclear facilities. America takes action. We, in the shape of that useless, spineless amoeba blancmange, Starmer, say, oh, please, be careful now. We are falling behind on global leadership. He can't defend, Starmer, the Labour leader, our own border at Dover from illegal migrants in a rubber bloody dinghy. And the attack on Brize Norton, RAF base, is an attack on all of us by Palestinian Action. It's made us into a worldwide and a national embarrassment. Starmer keeps stating that the first duty of government is to keep British people safe and secure at home. He gives me the impression the people he really wants to keep safe are the ones who are not at home. The ones in their designer tracksuits, leather jackets and mobile phones getting in at Dover. That's who he wants to keep safe and secure. That's who he wants to give all the houses to. He hates the genuine working class of this country, which is why he never says the word class. He says working people. He wouldn't know a working class person if it mugged him with a bag of chips and some mushy peas. He makes Mandelson look as if he's down with the boys on the factory floor. I despise this man. Absolutely despise him. And if you think I'm biased, hey, Guess what? You're completely right. The first duty of government is to keep British people safe and secure at home. Are you confident that liberal, uber liberal moron can do that? Now I want to hear from you. It is the John Gaunt Show, here for about another 20 minutes or so, depending on how many good comments you make. Also, as well, if you want to support the work, and if you've missed me, I've certainly missed you. I hated not doing the show. I've been like a bear with a sore head. Well, I had a sore head anyway with the virus. So it's great to be back, and it's great to be having a rant and talking about things. But this show relies on you, not just for your comments and your questions and your emails, like Niven just sent me that one, but also for your donations. So if you'd like to donate, it's www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt, and you can either buy a beer or a coffee. It starts at £5. Somebody was telling me they live in Hungary, and it wasn't working there. I'm not sure why that is, my friend. Peter Adams, big supporter. Try it again, mate, and let me know. Or alternatively, you can fund me whilst I'm live on YouTube by buying a super sticker or whatever else they're called, the super fan thing. Just do it. And if you haven't got any money, but you want to show your support, the best way of doing that is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, jongaunttv, and spread the word. I want to say a big hello to all the people I met on Friday. I'll talk about that in a moment. Went to a charity do that made you really realise how lucky you are in life. Talk about it in a couple of minutes. Let's go to some of your comments. Jackie Ward says, welcome back, John. Thank you very much. It's good to be back, Jackie. I agree with Donald Trump, says one of my oldest fans. I mean, she's been with me a long time. I don't mean she's old. Lily Cat Adelbury. I agree with Donald Trump. Thank you. So do I. Trump has flexed his muscles while Starmer sleeps, says Jackie. It says it all. Trump is proactive. Starmer isn't even reactive. I don't know how he can sleep at the moment, Jackie, with the state of our nation. They've only been in charge 11 months and they've wrecked the place. Don't get me wrong. I don't support the Tories. That was 14 years of corruption and misrule. It's interesting. He could hardly react to the Brize Norton incident. Yeah, I found that amazing over the weekend. I kept thinking, well, maybe I just missed some of it. But there hasn't been much press, what do you call it, coverage, has there? They broke into Brize Norton, where we've got some of our major military assets, right? They painted the fuselages. They dug up the what do you call it? The you know what I'm talking about, the runway. So they must have been in there some time, and they came in on motorized scooters, electric scooters. As I keep saying, I'm going to repeat it. I don't care if you get upset. I'd have shot the bastards. And I think from now on, he won't ever do this because he's so lily-livered. Shoot on sight. Tell him once. Second time, bang. We can't put up with this. We're now at war. When is someone going to ask him outright, what the hell is he doing? And make him answer, says Kathy Daly. Well, probably never, because the mainstream media are in his pocket, aren't they? Which is why there's not been much coverage about the Ukrainian models, has there? Or what's happened to Lord Ali? What happened to all the freebies? Lots of questions, not many answers. Why did he take the winter fuel allowance? Oh, he gave it back. Yeah, but he took it away for a year from the most vulnerable. Why does he want to basically nick the crutches and the wheelchairs and the guide dogs of the people with disabilities? I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I mean. The man is an unfeeling autocrat, promoted above his station, a bit like the woman who's obviously running Brize Norton. I read today that the woman who's in charge, evidently, one of the first things she did, I don't know if this is totally true, but it was what I was on Twitter, she painted the Pelican Crossings rainbow colours. You know, like they've done that in Coventry City Centre. I nearly got knocked over a few weeks ago because you don't see it because it's not black and white. What colour is a zebra crossing? The clue is in the word zebra. It ain't bloody every colour of the rainbow just because a few gays want it to be. Go and paint their own pubs rainbow colour if they wanted. Ooh, I'll be up on an anti-gay charge now. Nothing anti-gay about that. I'm just stating the bloody obvious, what most people think. Starmer needs to be very worried about how many Iranian immigrants we have in this country. If they organise themselves, we should be all very, very worried. Well, you're right. There's this story today about an Iranian, a British person with Iranian background being arrested over maybe a planned attack on our base in Cyprus. But the point is, we've let in, well, we haven't, this idiot and the idiots in charge before. What were they? They were stop the boat, Starmer's smash the gangs or whatever it is, smash a bloody avocado, more like. But they've let in people, they don't know who they are. They literally don't know who they are. And that's not me exaggerating. They don't know. These are unregistered, no documents, because they chuck them in the channel as they come over, young men of fighting age. And now we find out there's been 2 incidents of rape where they kept it quiet, that the suspect, listen to this, and if you haven't read this in the papers, it's there. It's twice, one in London and one somewhere else, where this man is alleged, or men are alleged, to have raped some of our young girls. I'm getting out of breath for this. And they've not said where they live, because where they live, guess what? Squeezy soap, 4-star asylum hotel. And they're worried it's going to kick off again. You know, like Baroness Casey said in her report, the reason why they hid the fact it was Pakistani, mainly Muslim rape gangs, was because they were scared of civil unrest. In other words, they were scared of you, me, the decent silent majority who might just be a wee bit upset that white English girls are being raped and sexually assaulted and now murdered. Might just be a bit upset about that by people who shouldn't have any right to be in the country, who we don't even bloody know who they are. Maybe the indigenous population might get a bit upset. Too bloody right they'll get upset, Starmer, because after Southport and your lies and you're not telling the whole truth and then sending people to prison like that bloody house with Lucy, 31 months for hurty words. It's just unbelievable. And we've still got people in Rotherham and Manchester and not Rotherham, Rochdale, who are raping British girls who have not been deported. Oh, Pakistan don't want them back. Pakistan? Did you hear what I said? Pakistan? Put them on a plane, give them a parachute and chuck them out if necessary. I'm only half joking. How dare Pakistan say, oh, no, we don't want them back. We'll have them back if you let us fly our jumbos back into Heathrow and Gatwick. Oh, we're going to go for that, aren't we? Well, he probably will. He's such an idiot. We don't want your planes in our airport. We don't want you importing more terrorists into our country. I'm not suggesting all Pakistanis are, because of course they're not. But we've got to tighten our security. The first responsibility, as you so rightly say, Sir Keir, why am I calling him Sir? Mr. Keir, is the security and peace of the population, the people who pay your wages. I call it breaking and entering. It's embarrassing as well. No security at a top airbase, says Nigel. It's more than embarrassing, Nigel. It's an absolute outrage. It's your money. Why can't they secure it? I thought they used to march around all night, people on guard. Don't they do that anymore? I've watched Get Some In with Tony Selby. I met him. Oh, he was one of my heroes. Him and Michael Elphick were one of my heroes. Get Some In. Wasn't that great? Do you remember that program? Brilliant. Anyway, Starmer needs to be very worried. Oh, I've read that one out already, Peacehaven Dweller. Did you send it twice? About how many Iranian immigrants we have in the country. If they organise themselves, we should all be very worried. And then he's written Starmer, FFS, because he spelt it starter. Did it autocorrect? I know what you mean. It's terrible. James Morrison, is that the pop star? 80 million holy city Trump vans are killers who reacts the world hitting nuclear site. Million will die of cancer. Did they tell you that? Pardon? I'll try and translate that into English. I think he's trying to say, it's obviously not the pop star, 80 million holy city Trump vans are killers who, then it says reacts, but I think it means risks the world hitting. I can't even be bothered. You're a moron, mate. If you're going to write into me, try and get it in English. Have you not got a translator lesson like the rest of them? Thank God for Donald Trump, says Lily. Imagine if Kamala Harris was in charge. Oh, yeah. She'd be having a workshop and a loving. If I had £1 for every time Starmer said the word that's the word he's using. De-escalate. Thank you, Seasider Mark. I'd be a rich man. He comes across as weak, wooden, and pathetic when you see him on the news. What a poodle. He's not a poodle. He's more of a labradoodle, isn't he? He's a mongrel in that way. A mixture of small, weak dogs. Don't call him a dog. Are you enjoying this so far? Because if you are, is somebody going to do a super sticker in a minute and get a special mention on the show? Come on, I'm working my little guts off out here. Massive amount of watches today. Thank you very much indeed. And 17 on the like button. That's good. If you're listening on a podcast later, make sure you make your way to John Gaunt TV on YouTube. Then you'll always get notifications if you subscribe. It's free. About the only thing I do that's free. It is free. So subscribe and you'll get information of when I'm doing all the shows. I will be here tomorrow night at 6:30, back into the regular routine, God willing. But we'll see. I've got to do a load of shows this week because I missed so many shows last week. Of course, I got a situation where I've had no donations, hardly. I'll be selling the big issue outside Tesco's next. You have Biden as PM. Oh, nice one, Dale C. McKay Godwin, one of our American listeners, I presume. I think you've texted him before. You're right. Somehow we've ended up with Joe Biden. The states have got Trump, and that's a great analogy. British people safe, that's a bloody joke. I certainly don't feel safe. I wouldn't go out on that night on my own at the moment, says Lily. Great point, Lily. Not all our small towns look like downtown Jebad. Oh, I understand. Downtown Jebad. Do you mean downtown Baghdad? I understand what you mean. Not the lovely little fishing town Arbroath. But it's not safe for women or young girls walking the street because they're being preyed on by foreigners. I love Arbroath. It's the Arbroath Smokies, isn't it? Oh, man alive. So much for smashing the gangs. He couldn't smash his potatoes, says Keith Swanky. I understand what you're saying there. So what you're saying, your town doesn't have to look like a completely utter shithole because these migrants are everywhere and some of them are dangerous. I understand where you're coming from. I don't understand it. This is a brilliant one from Nigel. Starmer has more security at the hotels the migrants are in than we have on our borders. And if you don't mind, Nigel, I'm going to add to that. There's more security for Starmer than there is on our RAF bases, clearly. There's probably more security around Westminster than at Brize Norton. See, when I'm down there, I'm going to stay at my daughter's, quite near Brize Norton. I hear the planes. And they must have permission to fly at night as well. And sometimes you hear the big bloody planes coming in. And then sometimes the American fighter jets, I presume they're American. It's quite exciting. But it also makes you feel safe. But we've allowed some people, and they haven't even arrested them, have they yet? That's the next bit I don't understand. And they'll be having another demo, Free Palestine. I tell you, Free Palestine's so good. And I love the one with the gays. Gays for Palestine, queers for Palestine, lesbians. You know, they use the word queer, not me. They're allowed to. I've lost. How long would they last if they went and lived in Hamas-controlled Palestine? They'd be going, gays for Palestine, as they fall 16 floors off a block of flats that they get pushed off by Hamas. These people are prats. Absolutely prats. Keith says, I totally agree with you, John. Trespass on MOD property, you catch a 556. Thank you very, very much indeed. Starmer isn't at war in his own fluffy bubble world, says Ronnie Hurst. I think you're right. He obviously doesn't live in our world. I do like Florida's governor. Says shoot them if they're in your way. Give the PM bloody hell, John, says Dale. our American listener. Thank you, Dale. Tell all your friends in Florida. You call Starmer. What did I say? Starmer an unfeeling autocrat. Come and see what the leader of Hungary does to his people. Then you'll see the difference, John. As usual, though, another great discussion from you, Peter Adams. Peter, did you manage to send your cash? Because you were concerned you couldn't donate. I'm hoping you got that sorted out. Craig Urquhart says, forget the parachute, John. Oh, yeah, I know what you're on about. I said if Iran doesn't want to take them back, let's just fly over and drop them into them. Yeah. Well, they do it with drones now, don't they? Illegal immigrant coming in now. Anyway, stop it, John. Forget the parachute, John. Fair enough. There's talk of the Strait of Hormuz being closed by the Iranians already, but not in the mainstream media. I wonder if the fuel panic buying will start again soon. Well, it will, won't it, Peace Haven dweller? It probably will, and that is what they'll do. Peter Adams says, no immigrants landing on the beaches at the moment, John, because the beaches are full of Brits enjoying the sun. There's no room for the boats to land. I'm sorry, you're wrong. 1,000 yesterday, my friend. 1,000. Philip Powell says, can you believe anything this man says? I trust you're talking about that man, Starmer, not me. Hey? You don't have to believe anything I say if you want. It's my opinion. That's the beauty of the internet. It's the beauty of the John Gaunt show. I say what I want to say. You say what you want to say. It's not the BBC. I watched the BBC this morning. I can't believe it. Piers Morgan was the nearest thing to a radical voice they had on there. Huh? Why don't they have some real people? And then she interviewed the ambassador for Iran. What do we want to hear from the enemy for? We don't, do we? Trump bombs, Starmer hides. And that'd have been a better headline for me picture, actually. Why didn't you say that earlier? But thank you. Jackie says, what did Jackie say? The more I hear Starmer, the more I'm convinced he's an android. He's definitely got a problem with his adenoids. Then I ask, who's controlling him? Well, you know who's controlling him. Ursula von Leyen. EU. He wants a job there. She's the puppet master. Starmer needs directions to pour pee out of a boot. I don't get that one, but thank you for it. Anyway, so if you want to comment, I'm going to finish soon. And if you'd like to donate, that'd be nice as well. Massive audience today. Thank you very much indeed. Let's have some more on there. Andrew Duncan says, I'm fed up with lily-livered fools. Starmer being the leader. I'm betting Trump didn't even tell Sad Idiot Hussein has more security than both Starmer and Brize Norton. We need to let's start a new party up, Gaunty. I ain't doing that, but I understand where you're coming from. Oh, I must tell you about it. So I went to this charity do on Friday. It was like, where you watch the races at Ascot and you can all have a little gamble. And it's just a really good day out raising money for the Giles Trust. Ashley Giles, the Warwickshire and England cricketer, won the Ashes, of course, for England. His wife had a brain tumour. Steiner, her name is. She's Norwegian. I've never met her before. I met him quite a few times, actually. And went with my mate, Pat. And so they set up this thing because she had a brain tumour. They managed to remove that. Then she got 2 more. And so they set up a charity. And now they do things to make people's life better, especially people who have got end-of-life care. And it's just fascinating, especially as that was the same day they were talking about whether we're going to let the Labour government kill people who are, in their eyes, no longer useful. Yeah, old people, people with disabilities. I mean, this guy is almost a prototype fascist, isn't he? Right? Because he's in favour of that. I mean, the other day it was let's kill babies. Let's support babies, even if they've just been born. Now it's let's kill anybody who's got a disability. Well, you may as well, Keir, because you're taking all the bloody money off them, aren't you? So, yeah, kick away their walking stick. Melt down their wheelchairs. Careful, John. And kill them. Yeah, I'm sure that's what she wanted. She never, ever wanted to be a burden on anyone, did she, Keir? You're going to be doing it to your mum? We'll see. It's a bit like, will your son be going to fight in Ukraine? Has he signed up already? Huh? Don't tell me. Don't. I didn't realise. Lord Ali's getting him a suit. Lord Ali's making a uniform. Suits you, sir. You make me sick, Keir. You make me sick. Jackie Ward. No, sorry, this is Peter Adams says, Jackie Ward, who controls Starmer? That's Lord Ali or Angela Rabies. I think it means Raina. Thank you for that. Yeah, anyway, so this charity do was great. Loads of money raised for the charity. I met a really fantastic comedian, stroke auctioneer called Johnny Gould. When I saw his name, I thought, I used to work with Johnny at Talk and stuff. It's not the same Johnny Gould. The one who does the State of Israel podcast. Brilliant. Have a listen to them. This was another fella, and he did the auction, and one of the funniest people ever to watch. And it's all quick fire patter, and it makes you just want to spend more money. Mind you, that said, Lisa won the bloody hamper. We won the hamper. You know, when you do that sit down, stand up, and hands on your bottom thing. You know this sort of thing. Anyway, so she won that, but that was about it. Oh, and then I won 95 quid on one race. I got talking to these women at the time. I was going to call them girls. They were women. And I said, do you know much about racing? This one said, yeah, I know loads. I said, all right, then give us a tip. So she gave me this tip, and she said, put 10 quid on to win and a fiver each way. I thought, that's a lot of money. I ain't going to put down that much money. 95 quid I got back. Absolutely brilliant. So that meant the rest of the gambling all day, and that's how I like it, was money we'd won, if you understand what I mean. But it was all for a good cause, and it's a brilliant charity based in Birmingham. I can't remember what the second name is. Giles Charity, anyway, helping people. And then they had the brain surgeon guy there, and he talked about he had some slides of people who were all dead, and he was telling the tale of these people and the things they'd done for them, but not in a dramatic way, just very matter of fact. And it made you think, my life might be pretty shit, but it ain't as bad as that. Made you glad to be alive. Made me think, well, when I had my sepsis, that was bad. When I had a cold, it was bad, but nothing like some of these people go through and what they have to live through with their relatives. So if you can offer them some money, do so. I'll try and put up a link on the next one we do. Ian Passy says they'll be rocking up in their thousands to seek protection in the UK. Thank you very much indeed. Peacehaven Dweller has reposted the stream. That's a really important thing to do. So thank you for that. It gets more people listening. Craft Morales, the leaders in the UK are giving away their country. It's sad. It's an invasion without weapons. I've got to agree. And there we are. We've got a super sticker from Andrew Duncan. Thank you very much, mate. A couple of quid. Every single quid helps. I really do appreciate your support, Andrew. Thank you very, very much indeed. So that's what it was about today. It was about Starmer. It's always about bloody Starmer. I'd like to talk about something else, wouldn't you? It was about him Trump targeting Iran, bombing Iran, while Starmer was asleep. And then he dithered and he made these pathetic statements. And the Brize Norton attack, which I think we should all be absolutely outraged about. And the illegals still coming. The chances of anyone coming from Calais are 1,000,000 to 1, they said. But still they come. That's my little song from Brave New World or wherever it was. So Starmer can't even defend our own border at Dover from illegal migrants. And the attack on Brize Norton, he couldn't defend that. I wonder how much security he's got with him this weekend in Chequers. Huh? Are you sleeping well at night, Sakir? Because you shouldn't be, because you've wrecked our country. And then you have the cheek to say the first duty of government is to keep British people safe and secure at home. I don't think many of my listeners are confident you've done it, mate. They're not confident at all. And I'm certainly not. I think we're less safe than ever. Peter Adams, John, success at last. 15 quid's worth of beers coming your way. Big love from the Brit in Hungary. Peter, thank you so much indeed. If you'd like to do what Peter's done, he's gone to www.buymeabeer. That's all. Buy me a coffee, all one word, buymeacoffee.com John Gaunt. Remember, there's no H in John. And he's bought me 3. That's 15 quid. That is fantastic. And that's good to prove, PJ. You can do the buy me a coffee anywhere in the world. I thought you could with the YouTube donations, but maybe not. I'll have to check it out. I'm not strong on admin, though, as you're probably aware. So thank you, Peter, and thank you, Andrew Duncan. Both of you today are on the Hall of Fame for helping out Gaunty. Very much appreciated. That wasn't bad, was it, for a comeback show on a Sunday afternoon in the sweatbox that is my bedroom? Thank you very much indeed. I'll be back tomorrow at 6:30. I might do one before then because, you know, who knows what's going to develop overnight. Maybe Starmer will suddenly find his backbone. I doubt it. But you never know, do you? We might find the Holy Grail before he finds a spine. How are we being led by sixth formers? It's beyond me. And I see another poll this weekend made him out to be even less popular than we even thought. And they reckon it'd be a landslide to reform, which I don't necessarily think is a good thing. You'd think that Labour and the Tories would get a grip now, wouldn't you? But maybe they've feathered their own nests and they don't care. Anyway, have a great Sunday afternoon, what's left of it. I shall be back on Monday at 6:30. Please tell all your friends. The biggest thing you can do is retweet the video afterwards. So always come back and look at it again. Breaking news, Starmer. I'll just read this. Quite funny from MK50. Starmer's going to unleash weapons of mass destruction on Iran. David Lammy's going in. David Lammy's going in and he's going to throw Jaffa cakes at them, perhaps. Thank you very much. Right, back on Monday at 6:30. Until then, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hey, hey, hey. Don't forget to tell them you love them. See ya.